Told you I'll be back. Episode 2, Life's a Game. So right now, I'm going to do this video here about how the game of psychology is. If you don't know about psychology, psychology is the study of characteristics, behavior, adaptation, experiment. Psychology goes far beyond what makes you happy and sad. Psychology goes beyond what can control you, what can amuse you, what can hold your attention. See, psychology is a game. And this even goes for the psychologists. Like, my brother's a psychologist, my older brother, and I have a younger sister, she's studying to be a psychologist. And I have many people that I've came across that been in the field of psychology. Now, their job, I'm not going to say is not important, but they need, and I hope they do, look at the further level of psychology. Now, you have to imagine I'm the president and I have a psychologist by my side. Or I'm in the olden days before society is what it is, before the Constitution and everything was ever written. You got to think about, there were psychologists back in those days, philosophers, psychologists, all types of people. And these kings, these rulers that took over nations, that had war upon war, that did experiment, did Nazis, and all types of things. You got to remember, these people had psychologists by their side. What were their psychologists doing? What were their psychologists talking about? What behavior in a mass were they studying? See, these psychologists study individuals, but if you're the psychologist of a ruler, of an elite, of a rich, of a supreme business owner, what is your psychologist researching and studying? If you're the psychologist working in the government, you're studying masses. You're studying how to control mass. You're studying how to influence mass. You're studying the behaviors of mass. See, it's a game. Now you have to imagine yourself being whoever you are, whether rich, poor, whatever. Yeah, you might have problems. That's fine. It's life. Stop thinking you need a psychologist to solve your problems. It's common sense. It's not really common unless you're not taught. Then you're just, well, you could say naive, or you could say ignorant of the fact. We have been controlled in masses to believe the way life is and the way society is. It's a game. You have to be your own king, your own queens, your own emperors, and your own empresses. You have to learn the value of a mass. See, a lot of people in families, yes, you want to get married, you want to be happy, you want to do that, but that is not important no more. Getting married is not important. You got to realize, yeah, you're still getting married, but you're still bringing two families, maybe two families of separate cultures, and you're trying to unite them. Yeah, you might just say, oh, it's just, us, my family, doesn't matter, they got to deal with it. Listen, when it comes down to what people's beliefs and what people's systems are, it doesn't work like that. If you want resentment, if you want regret, if you want people to never understand your beliefs of your way you want to do, this is your life journey, So you have to realize you need to stop focusing on the smaller things. Love is always going to be there. And if you find someone that you love and they're there with you, teach them the right things. You know, a lot of men, black men especially, we lose because we're teaching our women music. We're teaching our women finer, fancy things, but we're not teaching them the right way how to get it. We're waiting for on tax days, and we're waiting on car accidents and all this type of things. When if you're in a relationship and you love somebody, you just learn the psychology of the relationship. You know, learn what the vibe should be and where the momentum of everyone's mind will lead them. Everyone wants success. I don't know one person that, I don't care if you're a bum, I don't care if you're in jail, prison, or whatever. I don't know one person that's like, I don't want no form of success. I just want to sit down and that's it. Even people on the brink of killing themselves, they're looking for something, searching for something. And a lot of them are just focused on love and appreciation, but it's the root of the family, the root of the psychology of the family, the root of the bond of the family, you know. And you have to understand that, you know, the government and people out there, they make money during your birth and during your death. And a lot of them make a lot more money during your death. You have to realize, believe it or not, you're born with a credited amount of money in your life that your credit itself can reach. Not your job, not your parents' job, not where you're from, not anything, but your credit can reach a certain amount of money into the 6 figures and above if you understand the finer things in life and stop feeding into the nonsense that they're giving us. It's a psychological warfare. It's not a spiritual warfare. It's not a religious warfare. It's a psychological warfare. To control one, you must control the mind. To have people follow orders and instructions, you must control the mind. That has nothing to do with religion. That has nothing to do with school. And yeah, there's people out there that, you guys have great jobs, congratulations, making great money. But you'll never see the money they make until you play the game they play, or you learn how to reverse engineer the game. For you to be our own Sony, for you to be your own Paramount, you know, I guarantee you won't see someone start from the ground up again, probably in this generation, because the control. And if you do see it, that person is going to be related to them. You know, maybe an offspring, a legitimate child that one of them has. You know, like I said, you know, it's a psychology game. You know, they hide behind false identities. They hide by, you know, marriages. They hide it by Mormon styles where they can have many wives. You know. And you truly won't know that. You know, they won't reveal that of what they have really documented. Again, they control it, you know, and that's the psychology and the game that you have to understand. Is you have to learn how to gain control. And that is by learning their system, learning why they created school, why they created war, why they created hatred, why is even religion created different in every country. You gotta think about that. Almost every country has some form of a different religion, some form of ancient dialects are in different countries too. And they have different religious beliefs. There's some countries like Guatemala, they have over 50 different dialects, Mayan, Indian dialects that can't even be translated from each one of them. And they could be living one little city from each other. And it's the truth. We have to understand this. We have to really understand. Life ain't what you really think about. I mean, you could go to certain places too, and I mean, certain places do have their bad area, just like United States. But it's designed that way. All these other countries have credit, you know that, right? But they don't teach their country about that. They don't want people to start gaining the wealth they have and start fighting for what they have. They don't want that. Imagine 10,000 of us right now get 800 credit score and get together. They don't want that. How are they going to stop 10,800 credit scores together, united into one business or one firm or one industry? They don't want that. Jay-Z and all those people, they can teach people about credit. They have a great movement, but they're not going to allow those people to do that. They don't want those influencers to do that. And you have to wonder why. They'll teach you about scamming, though, to get you in trouble. They'll teach you about selling drugs. Or what rappers out there teaching anyone about their credit? Getting their credit right, getting their life together, and understanding that they're in a trap of the world and of society. When is that going to happen? I mean, there's some enlightened rappers out there, but they should be given free class. Get y'all credit right. Now they want y'all in the hood. Y'all are their sales. It might be y'all fans, but can they talk about gun robbing, shooting, strip clubs, and this and that if everyone's life is getting together? They can't sell no more albums. Can't sell no more. So even if they want us to talk about the credit, it might be a couple of them out there. The label's going to silence that. And then you wonder where they went. But there's avenues for them to still reach out, man. I'm talking about these people have millions of followers. If they choose to be silenced, they choose to be silenced. That's they're afraid, you know? And they shouldn't be afraid. They made it that far not being afraid. Now, stop being afraid and start waking people up with y'all. We ain't asking for y'all money. Just teach us ways of how to live life under what y'all know. Because y'all been in certain positions and learned certain things around certain people. I'm guaranteed Warren Buffett shook certain rappers' hands before. And I don't know, maybe those conversations never got brought up, but you know, I guarantee the rich ones in the game, the old heads, I guarantee they had conversations like that. You know, and maybe they're afraid of, you know, what happened in Nipsey and what happened to, you know, Martin Luther King, and you know what just happens to randomness. But I'm here to say, man, honestly, if y'all really did something and stood up and really made the effort to start teaching people and teaching these black kids these right ways, and, you know, really fixing the hood the right way, not funding into the hood for housing, funding into the hood for teaching these families credit and fix their credits. Stop funding in for housing. They're just going to get messed up because they don't know how to upkeep nothing. Teaching them to upkeep their credit and upkeep their life, man, it's psychology. How about you do that for them? Teach them how to fish. Don't give them the fish. Man, anyways, that's what I gotta say, man. Life's a game. Psychology 101.